Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Print Storage. Today we are taking a look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Convenience, the entry-level Forester in the new redesign. 25's full redesign for the Forester. One of the biggest differences you'll notice versus the previous entry-level Foresters is the wheels. You get alloy wheels. You don't get steels and hubcaps anymore, which is a very nice improvement in my opinion. And I actually think they've done a fantastic job with these 17-inch machined alloy wheels with the black surfaces, dark gray surfaces. I really like it. I think it's sharp. But it is different versus the previous gen Forester. Front end's definitely different. New headlights, new grille, new bumper, big, square, boxy front end. They have lowered the shoulders on the hood to increase visibility. The headlights themselves are still LEDs, very, very bright. No fog lights in the entry level, but we do get these nice texture points on the front. That square you remove, and that's where you put the tow hook. I get asked about that semi often. It's powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer and it produces 180 horsepower, down from 182. It's now using 0W16 synthetic oil like a lot of the manufacturers are out there. Still get 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, so you're gonna go further than most pickups through deep snow and such. We end up with Subaru's cladding around the wheel wells, and we end up with functional vents. Mirrors, the caps, black plastic, not painted, which I'm actually a huge fan of. And throughout the car, we have little Easter eggs, little flying bird there. There's some other highlights or Easter eggs throughout the car, and I have done a video of that if you're looking for all of them. That side profile, still boxy and square, which is nice. Still a traditional Forester side profile I really like. I was mentioning that hexagonal pattern on the front. We have it on the side, we have it on the rear. It ties it all together. They've moved the symmetrical all-wheel drive badge up top here, which I really like. Roof rails are standard with the integrated tie downs, which is nice. They are slightly different on the Premier and the Sport, but every other one is like that. Fuel door, rear passenger side. If the driver door is unlocked, the fuel door is unlocked. Using regular, unleaded 87. You can run premium if you want. There isn't necessarily going to be the same benefits as if the engine was tuned to run on premium. New tail lights. I really like the design on this. It does say Subaru in there, and it curves around and stretches all the way across with black metallic to the other side. Integrates the Subaru logo. We have Forester debossed into the rear bumper. I'll give you guys that rear 3/4 view. Look, I like the rear and the side and the rear 3/4 profile on the Forester especially. Rear, it definitely looks like a Forester, still boxy square. We've got the hexagonal pattern along the bottom. One of them is cut out for your exhaust. And now in behind the second row, we have a ton of storage. Big, boxy, square storage area versus the competitors. The layout is definitely better, more usable space. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side, along with a not a privacy cover, a power point, a 12-volt power point. You can get a privacy cover as an accessory, goes in the squares. We've got nice hard mount physical tie downs in each corner. Underneath this big false floor, we have some storage. We have our spare tire and tools underneath there. And that's the recovery eye bolt that you put in that front square that I'd mentioned previously. Little motif, texture. Even in the entry level, you get an LED cargo light now. That'll shut off when I close the hatch, or you can shut it off. You've got options. Easy close hatch. Everything but the convenience entry level has a power tailgate. Yeah, that crystal white pearl, very, very sharp looking color on the Forester. Second row, just like previously, there's a ton of headroom, ton of legroom. Taller passengers fit in here without issue. The headliner is dark on all of our Foresters now, which is nice. I like that. Kids reach up, get things dirty, or if you're going for one of the grab handles, sometimes you end up getting the carpet dirty. And this is cloth upholstery. Very, very nice. You got that hexagonal pattern in it. They're very, very comfortable. The cloth is very, very comfortable. Subaru's done a great job with these seats. We have the Anchors, easily accessible for car seats. They're not hidden. I was actually concerned about the comfort, if they were gonna dig in. So far, no one's reported that. I haven't reported that. I'm a bigger guy and I've sat in the rear of plenty of these. Out of the center console, there's 2 USB ports and a little storage cubby. We've got 3 map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. Lots of storage. This is textured and is designed to be used as a step if you're loading something on the roof racks up top. And the reason they want you standing there and not on the tire 1 sits inside the fender, 2 at the very back. I'm like at the very back here, so if I'm putting something in, I'm probably leaning, could put myself off balance. Subaru's all about safety. That little black piece right there is what this extra side impact crash safety bar ties into. Very, very strong. Little bottle holder, a little bit of storage there. Soft touch armrest, soft touch door card. So soft touch materials throughout the cab. Child lock, if you need it. They sound solid when you close the door, and that's something you'll notice. It feels heavy, it's solid, which is nice. Doesn't feel like you're getting into a tin can or out of a tin can. Soft touch armrest, soft touch door card. Front driver window is auto, regular, the power windows for the other 3. We've got window lock, our power mirror adjustment. A little bit more storage along with the bottle holder there. Driver's seat is the same seating material, that gray cloth, and it is blue contrast stitching in here. I don't know if you can really make it out in the sun. And these seats are the same seats that are in the Crosstrek. They're designed for long distance driving. They're designed to reduce fatigue over longer driving periods. And despite being a manual adjustment seat, you can pump it up, you can pump it down. It is height adjustable. Manual bar at the front for moving fore and aft. We've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges. And I'm just gonna shut this off. It's a key. We still make vehicles with a key. That's the entry level. If you're looking for basic, convenience is that. Still very well equipped, despite being quote unquote basic. Steering wheel is the new style steering wheel. Left-hand side of the steering wheel here, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music, issue voice commands, source switches from AM to FM to satellite to USB, etc. This toggle used to be our volume, but is now left to right. That changes our small center display. Gives us different information depending what you want to look at. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and lane centering. Now, both of those systems use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, pedestrians, road lines, and other vehicles. These cameras are responsible for automatic emergency braking, which actually saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. So when I turn on adaptive cruise, I get an image of the Forester there. There's 4 bars ahead of it all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise control. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet. So more than adequate distance. You can decrease it by pressing down if you need to follow closer or you want to follow closer, and then you press the up arrow to increase it. Now, if you don't like adaptive cruise, simply press and hold the down arrow and it turns to traditional cruise control. Same thing to turn it back. And there's always a little audible chime. Lane centering brings up the image of the steering wheel above 60 kilometers an hour. If the lines can be, road lines can be seen by the cameras, it'll illuminate those gray lines white, just like those distance markers. And then the car will actually give you gentle steering input to keep you centered. We're not hands-free, we're not a Tesla. Do not take your hands off the wheel. It's an assist, not a replacement for you. We have intelligent and sport drive modes. Intelligent is what it defaults to for everyday driving. When I press the S button, you can see that yellow line is a little bit more aggressive. You're gonna accelerate faster, you're gonna sit at higher RPMs. It's for more spirited driving. And you can do it on the fly, you don't have to be stopped to do that. Bottom left of the steering column, we've got our tilt and our telescopic adjustment. So depending how you like to sit and how long your arms are, you can adjust it for varying size, arms, leg lengths. Now something, looking to my left, lots of people wonder about heated mirrors. You got heated mirrors and a heated back window. I don't often show that in the videos, but I figured I should mention that. You get that even in the entry-level Forester. Now, infotainment, we don't get the 11.6, we get two 7-inch screens. They still have the transit plastic on them. I haven't peeled them off yet, probably not going to. But top portion, we have our physical volume knob, our tuning knob. This generally has a white sticker on it, but that's just our 4-ways, our hazards. Top portion, and it is a little shinier because of the plastic. Under apps, we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Those are wired connections. We've got settings. Phone allows you to hook up to Bluetooth. Media is anything that isn't integrated into the vehicle. So USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth, something like that. Radio makes sense. We do have physical buttons down here. Home always takes you here. As soon as I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up. Does show you the top of the bumper. You have something to relate to. And I can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle. Apparently I'm gonna, the horn on this, I bumped. But you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle, and you can see where you're gonna end up if you keep the wheels turned that way. It is very handy. The backup camera washer is great. Lower portion, we have some driving control, some adjustments you can make. You access X mode, which is like for low in a pickup. You have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it, and it kicks out at 40K an hour. Vehicle control, you can turn off traction control, you can turn on auto vehicle hold, you can turn off the steering responsive headlights, lots of choices, driving assistance, the lane departure. If you don't like it keeping you in the lanes, you can have warning buzzer only. You can have just the lane departure prevention, or you can have everything working, which is nice. You get the choice. If it thinks you're gonna hit something, it gives you an audible. You can choose how soon that comes on. Like I said, lots of changes you can make to this car. You can deactivate start stop, click of a button. More settings, you can change the warning volumes. They double up on a few things like the auto start stop. Then we have our climate control. It is dual zone climate control. We have 2 temperatures here, and it goes up or down in, this would help if you can see, in 0.5 degree increments. And it goes from 15 to 29. Freezing to tropical. If I want to sync it, I simply press it. Brings up this menu, I hit sync. Control where I want my airflow, if I want max AC on. Lots of options, fan strength buttons. Heated seats, 3 stages for both the driver and passenger. I'm obviously going to turn those off today because it is rather hot, but easily accessible. We have our heated mirrors and back window, and we have just front defrost right there. Below the screens, a USB and an auxiliary. This is rubberized device storage. That's what it's designed for. And they have completely changed the center console on the 25 Foresters, which is really nice. We have drive, we have low gearing, but I really like this new layout. Park brakes are now electronic on the Foresters, only foot down. I guess that was on the previous gen, but different location, different layout. We've got offset cup holders, no drink raisers in these like the Crosstreks and the Outbacks. 12-volt power point, little rubberized tray in there, a little bit of storage. This is a I call this semi-soft touch. It's not cloth or leather, but it isn't hard plastic. And the armrest is actually fairly deep. There's a decent amount of storage in there. There's a place to run cords out of, but there's no power point in there, which is interesting. They've kind of followed suit with the Crosstrek on that. Up top, we've got our LED map lights. We've got the door light switch. So what that means is if it's turned to door and I open a door, the lights come on. If I don't want that, I turn it off. Sunglass storage. We've got our card holders. We've got our vanity mirror. And these are larger, which I like. As a taller person, I really appreciate these. Tall, big sun visors, and we have an extender. If the sun's directly at my left, or it's directly at my passenger's right-hand side. Headlight controls, we do have auto, and just like every other one, it defaults to auto. I like it turned on. That way my headlights and taillights are on at all times. And I'll give you guys the 360 walk around of the 2025 Forester convenience. So this is the entry level, still very, very well equipped. Updated engine. They updated a lot of things. Actually, the transmission in all of the 25 Foresters is the same transmission that you find in the 24 Wilderness Forester. And there is going to be a Wilderness Forester coming for the 25 model year. It's just not going to change from the 24 model year. That'll be later down the road. But this is the new body style, 8.7 inches minimum ground clearance. 180 horsepower, 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder boxer engine with Subaru's full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive. So thank you for watching my quick walkthrough of the 2025 Subaru Forester Convenience in the Crystal White Pearl. If you're in British Columbia or willing to make the trip up to Prince George in British Columbia, near British Columbia, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you find your perfect Subaru. If you guys have any questions about this car, any of the cars in my lineup, any of the tech, put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. So thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.